All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, welcome to all our winter varsity sports student athletes from this past 25-26 season. Give yourselves a round of applause for a great year. I'm very excited as the athletic director here at Governor Livingston to recognize not just our teams, but also some of our student athletes for their tremendous effort throughout the course of the season. I know how rigorous and long the winter season can be. The hours that you guys have to take on are different from fall and spring. You know, whereas your day starts super early at the start of school and it can end really late in terms of what our start times are. We're 6 o'clock start, 7 o'clock. And in terms of ice hockey, 8:30 and 9 o'clock start. So it's long days that you guys have to endure. And, you know, I tip my hat to you because I know how challenging it can be. You know, on behalf of the athletic department, we're super proud of you and how you represent our schools. We think that what you do on the day-to-day is something that should be, you know, recognized, not just an award or by me saying your name, but just as an acknowledgement of the sacrifice that you put out there. You know, we talk a lot about sacrifice here and discipline and what it takes to be a Highlander, what it takes to be a student athlete at the high school level, especially if you want to be competitive, you want to have a good product within your program. But I want to make sure we take the time to not just acknowledge your sacrifice and discipline, but that of our coaches. Our coaches put out a lot of time, you know, whether it's watching film, whether it's coming in early to do a workout, staying late for a shoot around or whatever it is. Our coaches really, you know, sacrifice a lot to give their time to you. And it's not like they get paid like these crazy contracts you see at the collegiate level professionally. It's really inspiring to see that people who care so much about their passion, which is coaching young student athletes, helping your experience be the best that it can be. And listen, I get it. It can be challenging. It can be tough. I was coached really hard as a kid, not by my parents, but by other people who saw a lot in me and saw the potential. And even when I didn't see it in myself, I was thankful that they pushed me the way they did because it really did prepare me for the real world and what life looked like after I left high school. So I want to make sure I acknowledge the coaches in that sense. So let's give the coaches a round of applause, please. So again, today is an opportunity for us to celebrate. I know in the past we've had this at night, and I'm going to be honest, it wasn't really well attended because you guys have a lot of things going on. You have work, you have other activities, you have spring sports. And so I thought getting you together like this amongst your peers, getting to hear from your peers, which you'll hear from in a little bit, and acknowledge you in a different way. I hope you guys appreciate the effort that we're trying to do to celebrate you as your teams and as individuals in our program. So that said, we're going to be bringing up our guest speaker today. This guest speaker, for me, I'm very impressed by this young lady because not just the way she carries herself, but the way she's gone about her business over the 4 years that she's been here. I've only been able to get to know her over the last year and a half that I've been at GL, but to hear her story and to listen to the level of adversity that she had to go through to get to this point, I'm honored to have us be recognizing Ms. Kira Palizzi as your student speaker today.
Hi, welcome to the Winter Varsity Sports Awards. Thank you, Mr. Hendricks, for giving me this opportunity to speak, and thank you all for being here today. First, I just want to say congratulations to all the student athletes, not just because you're a varsity athlete, but because each of you chose to commit to something that takes time and discipline. It's not easy. Having to balance athletics, along with schoolwork, friends, family, and for even use some club sports. It's a lot to handle. But you should all be proud of the hard work you put in to compete at a high level. Being a part of high school sports is so much more than just winning or losing. It's about growth as a person. In your own sports experience, all of you have grown in your own ways, but many similar ways. You've become close with your teammates and shared memories. You've created a support system that will last for more than just a season. Being on a team is a privilege that not all kids get to experience, and you're lucky to be a part of that. Being done with my high school sports career, I know firsthand how impactful it is. I'm proud to say I competed as a Highlander athlete. I've made so many valuable connections with teammates, coaches, trainers, and so many others. Making those connections are what made the season so memorable. I remember the games we won and lost, but the memories of funny practices, pasta parties, and just driving around together are what I remember from my season. Being able to enjoy all those memories is because of the relationships I made. And the games we won were so much more exciting because we won together. And the losses were not as hard because we lost as a team. It's something that's very special, and you may not realize it until it's over. So be sure to appreciate your teammates, your coaches, your families, and everyone else that made the season so special. And don't let those connections fade just because the season is over. Thank you, and congratulations again.
For those of you who don't know, you can see up here, Kira was our National Girls Women in Sports Day representative. Only one female athlete gets selected as that from each school across the state. She was recognized at Rutgers University. We're so proud of her, not just for that, but what she'll continue to take with her and the lessons and the experience that she had to UNC Wilmington next year as part of their women's soccer program. So again, a round of applause for Ms. Kira Palizzi. All right, this time we're going to be recognizing, we can get a little of a light in the upper and lower house. So we're going to be recognizing our winter sports team. So when your team is called, please stand up to be recognized. And let's give a round of applause. First off, boys winter track. Please stand up to be recognized. Thank you. Girls winter track, please stand up to be recognized. Our GL wrestling team, please stand up to be recognized. Ice hockey, please stand up to be recognized. Girls fencing, please stand up to be recognized. Boys fencing, please stand up and be recognized. Cheerleading, competition cheer, please stand up to be recognized. Girls swimming, please stand up to be recognized. Boys swimming, please stand up and be recognized. Girls basketball, please stand up and be recognized. And lastly, boys basketball, please stand up and be recognized. So, when you start to look at some of our teams, I'm going to start with boys and girls winter track. So, a lot of people don't realize the amount of time and effort and flexibility that goes into being part of a winter track team when you're stuck inside most of the time. Both of our teams, both the boys and girls, make the best out of whatever circumstance they're in, whether it's the weight room, whether it's running in hallways, whether it's stretching in a classroom somewhere, whether it's going outside in like 40-degree weather for a long run or to get out on a track that your coach shoveled out for you just so you have a place to train. It is not easy, and it's a tough sport for all of you to support because they usually have their competitions down in Toms River and New York City, all over the place. But I want to acknowledge the level of discipline that it takes for them to do what they do. It is not easy. It is not a sport that gets recognized the way that it deserves, especially since you're not able to just go and watch and support your friends. So I want to thank both the boys and girls indoor track team this year for their hard work, their commitment, for those that competed at the next level, whether it be at sections, groups, or at the Meet of Champs. Congratulations on a great year. Let's give them a round of applause. Next up, our wrestling team. So wrestling, you want to talk about discipline. You want to talk about making sure they weigh in before lunch and making sure that they're in top shape before a match, and the rigor and the the struggle that they go through to kind of make it through a season. You know, we had a lot of new wrestlers that joined us this year. We graduated a very exceptional group, but I was really proud of the fact that our wrestlers held themselves with such great class and integrity throughout the course of the season. It's a gritty sport. It's not for everybody, but the guys that do it with pride. They do it with a lot of passion, and you know, I was really impressed with what came out of that wrestling room, and I'm hoping now that we have this referendum passed, we can start making that wrestling room look more like a wrestling room for you guys, because you guys deserve it. So congratulations on a great season. Ice hockey. Now, ice hockey is the one sport here that we do a co-op, meaning we join with another school to create our team. So pretty much most of our team is here, but New Providence is also a group of students that should be recognized. You know, these guys, again, talk about a long day. I dreaded the 8:30 ice time when I was coming here. Like, man, you guys play ice hockey at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, but these guys find a way to do it. They don't complain. They don't, you know, pout. They just go about their business and do what this ice hockey program has done over the last, you know, 4 to 5 years, which is compete at a super high level. I think that comes as a reflection of our leadership, the kids that commit to the sport. You know, so I really appreciate all the hard work that they do, not just to make GL feel like a great representative of our program, but also to include another school community like New Providence and make them feel like they're part of our ice hockey program. So round of applause to the ice hockey team. So boys and girls fencing, very excited with the fact that we got to get them back on campus this past year. I know they appreciate it. I mean, before they were a team that you had to go to CMS to go watch them compete. Now they're here in our red gym in front of a bunch of people, their family and friends. You get to watch them compete, and it's such an amazing sport. I was really impressed with, again, the amount of class and integrity that they hold. They take a lot of pride in what they do, and they train really hard. So I want to make sure that we acknowledge not just the team, but we had 2 individuals that made it on to the state groups. So congratulations to those student athletes who advanced. Thank you so much for representing our school in the highest regard. Congratulations. So comp cheer. You know, coming off a great game day season in the fall, did a tremendous job representing our school. They finished 3rd in the state at their state competition. They won one of their competitions this year, which was awesome, and finished, I believe, 2nd in another. You know, again, talk about flexibility, going from practicing in an auditorium at one time to the cafeteria to the red gym. To going to CMS to practice. These girls will go wherever they need to get the time in to train and prepare themselves to perform at a high level. And they certainly did that. So I can't be any more proud of our cheer program, and I'm looking forward to what you guys do in the future. Congratulations. Boys and girls swimming, Coach Kloss, who, for those of you who don't know, eclipsed 400 wins this year. Again, another great season by both boys and girls, making it to the semifinal and finalist rounds of the sectional state tournament. Again, committed program, continue to be successful. I know we've had a great history of swimming here, and I think that's a testament to not just Coach Kloss, but to Grace, who's sitting up there, and I'm hoping that hopefully she can take over the reins now that Coach Kloss has moved on and take GL swimming to a whole nother level. Congratulations, swimming team. Girls basketball, I'll tell you what, it does not surprise me that the one coach in the crowd is Coach Eckert, because there is not a more dedicated coach and passionate coach in what he does that I've seen at this school than him. So the girls basketball team is not just led by a great leader, but they had great leadership. And leadership isn't about who's been here the longest. It's about who's willing to step up and do the right thing for the sake of the team. Our girls competed really well this year. They played in some really tough matchups, and I'm really excited for what the future looks like for the girls basketball team over the next 2 years. Congratulations on a great season, ladies. And finally, boys basketball. Boys basketball had a great bounce back year. You know, last year they didn't have the record that they wanted to have, but improved by 4 games, qualified for a state tournament, gained a lot of respect around the county for their type of play, tough, gritty, hard-nosed, getting up and down the floor, not being afraid to go out there and compete. They had a really, really strong showing against some very tough teams this year. And I believe that not just with the trajectory that we have with this program of the talent that's still here, you know, the leadership and the poise that we had from our seniors was exceptional. They did things the right way. They led by example, and I'm really excited that they got a chance to lead the way for our underclassmen who hopefully will take our basketball program to higher levels. So congratulations, boys basketball. So one new thing, as I may have told you for those of you here in the fall, a new thing that we added to our recognition of student athletes, you know, at a small school, 800 plus kids, you know, we need multi-sport athletes. We need kids who do a number of different things. We don't need you to, you know, just be great at one thing. We would love for you to be great at whatever you're passionate about. But if you have the opportunity to contribute in multiple ways, why not? It makes you a more marketable person. It makes you a more diverse person. And it allows you, again, to have those experiences in multiple sports that maybe you wouldn't have in the sport that you're maybe is your number one choice. We have a good number of those. And to recognize those student athletes this year, we're going to be giving you something as a gift of recognition. Any of you who are lettered as multi-sport varsity athletes are going to be receiving a gold GL pin to put on your varsity jackets. It will only go to multi-sport varsity athletes. So if you look at the list, oh, never mind. Did I go back? I'll get to the list, but I'm going to post the list up here, and you'll be able to see your name. Once your name is up there, you'll be able to see exactly where you're going to be getting your pin, which is going to be at the top. Miss Reedy, who's our athletics assistant, is going to provide you with that. You just check it off, but it's a way for us to kind of celebrate the multi-sport athlete here. It's important for us to do that, and I think the more you see that we acknowledge those opportunities that you get to play for different sports and meet new kids, hopefully it intrigues you and it kind of inspires you to kind of do more than what you already are doing. And for those of you who are multi-sport athletes, you know, enjoy the small window of being able to do that, because high school goes like that. And if you don't enjoy this experience and make it worth it, you're going to wish that you did when you leave. So we'll have that list go up in a little bit. Moving on to our Heart of the Highlander Award. This is an award that we established you know, pretty much when I got here a year and a half ago, and it was created at Governor Livingston High School to recognize student athletes in our athletic program who exemplify great character, leadership, sportsmanship, inclusion, and school pride. The student athletes here represent everything that we want our Governor Livingston Highlanders to embody on and off the playing field. So I'm going to call up the student athletes that were recognized by their coaches and their coaching staff. When you come up here to receive your plaque, please just stay up here, stand. Mr. Porras can take a picture, and then we'll have a group shot at the end. So without further ado, for boys winter track, Mr. Noah Abdallah. For girls winter track, Miss Stephanie DePasquale. From wrestling, Mr. Thomas DeNorcio. From ice hockey, Mr. Alec Novotny. From girls fencing, Miss Anaya Ferdke. From boys fencing, Mr. Owen Hernandez. From cheerleading, Miss Isabella Drayton. How did I know somebody was going to say that? From girls swimming, Lillian Arts. Miss Lillian Arts. From boys swimming, Philip Golubeck. From girls basketball, the captain, Miss Carly Pfeiffer. And finally, from boys basketball, Mr. Max Ryvicker. So while Mr. Pork is taking a picture of our student athletes, our coaches had some really great testimonials to write about our student athlete recipients. I'm going to share them with them separately, just for the sake of time. I want to make sure I get you guys out of here without having to worry about beating the bell. But I want to make sure that, hold up, Stephanie, where are you going? Oh, there we go. Oh, you're getting them together? Oh, okay, sorry. I want to make sure you guys understand that, you know, our student athletes that get this award, it's a lot of moving around. Our student athletes who receive this award, I hope take a lot of pride in the fact that their coaches and staff recognize them for this. It is something that means a lot to me as someone who really puts a lot of value in the student athlete experience and making this the best that it can possibly be. And these are just student athletes who exemplify that. So, Mr. Pork, I'll go with a picture. Big smile, guys. Let's give our winter sports 25-26 Heart of the Highlander Awards a round of applause. So as I mentioned earlier, we have some acknowledgments that are going to be made before we get into our highlight video, which I'm sure all of you are very excited to see. The multi-sport athletes list. If you see your name, you'll know to get a pin at the top. All right, they're broken down by class. So again, if you received a varsity letter in multiple sports, you will be receiving a gold pin that'll be right back at the top. All right.
From the hill in Berkeley Heights, a tradition rises at Governor Livingston High School. Being a Highlander means stepping onto the field, the court, or the track with grit, discipline, and heart. Early mornings, late nights, one more rep, one more play. Because a Highlander fights for their team, their school, and their community. Resilient, proud, relentless. This is what it means to be a Highlander.
Hey Highlander Nation, it's Mr. Hendricks, Athletic Director at Governor Livingston High School. What an amazing winter season that our student athletes had. They represented our school with such integrity and respect, and we're so excited to see what the future holds for these winter sports athletes. Thank you for all your support, and remember, it's always a great day to be a Highlander. Our student athletes put together a lot of sacrifice, show tremendous discipline, and have to put a lot of hard work to play for our programs. Not only are they pushed to the limits by their coaches, but they also have to represent a community. We're happy to show and highlight all those attributes that our student athletes exemplify throughout the season. All the fan support that we saw this season was absolutely amazing. To see our gyms filled up with people from around the community was something that all you want to do is ask for every time our kids step on the floor, on the ice, in the pool. And we're so thankful to be part of a community, Mountainside, Berkeley Heights, to combine for what we like to call Governor Livingston High School. Thank you for all your support, because your support is what drives us into the future. We had such an amazing winter season. A lot of great building blocks for the youth that we have coming up throughout our program. A lot of super amazing leadership throughout the course of our season. All the things that you want to see out of a true Highlander. As we move into the spring season, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and supporting our teams and showing the love and support that our Highlanders deserve. Go Highlanders.